Dear students, so this is a demo for dummy midterm exam, that how the practical exam for the data visualization will be uh, given to you. So in the data visualization, you will be given different data sets. Like this is one of the examples from the data set. So you need to extract some of the columns as per the requirements in the question. So you need to read the questions very, very carefully and see that which column I mean it, right? So for example, in question number one, if you go to the question number one, so here I need a dashboard in Power BI. So then for in that question, so you will be asked that to select some of the columns. Let's suppose if I ask you in the question that I need, for example, the columns from, for example, I need you first you need to get the data from the Excel. So for example, if you have any data, you can pick any of the data. For example, this is the list of the different data available to me. So you can choose that data, download the data first, and then pick the data. So the data will be appearing in this column, this data one, right? And then there would be the different options of the data would be there. For example, I imported the food list one, I imported the player data, I imported the safety data, and I like, this one, the sales data. So now, for example, if I need, like, this data, okay, for example, and the food item data, or I need it, for example, the measure data along with that one. So it will be appearing to me, right? So for example, I need a specific graph over here. Let's suppose I need, for example, I delete this one now, and I want, like, for example, a graph. I choose one of this one, for example, the line chart. So in the line chart, I need, for example, the measures of the different data over here, and the food items over here. Okay, and for example, the categories, I have it. So it will be automatically like, visualized over here. For example, I need the carbs data over here, so it will be visualized over here. I need the food item. So let's suppose food item is, like, since I need a line chart, so this is, like, the perfect one. So I might be asking about to visualize the data for the carbs and for the measure. So this will be there, and then you can, like, take a print screenshot of it, right? And after that one, you need to paste over here. So if you paste over here, just like adjust here, so your question one would be complete, right? So you can have, like, your name on that one. For example, this is your dashboard. So for example, you can say Ahmed dashboard, or Fatma dashboard, or Zainab dashboard, right? So you can write over here. Secondly, for example, from the same from the same data, or might be from the different data I gave you. So I extract, for example, calories and protein from this food list. So the calories the D1 and protein is the E. So I just copy paste from it, and I will, like, paste over here. So then I need, like, let's suppose I ask you to draw a regression line. Okay, so for the regression line, you need to select, like, these two columns, and then you need to have insert, like, the most suitable. So usually Excel is intelligent, so it like, give you the scatter chart for that one, most probably. And then you can have your, like, grid line, timeline. You can go to their grid line, and then, for example, if you want to have a linear, so the linear would be selected for you. The line you can see over here. If you have more options over here, so the more options can be seen over here. So if you go to the more options, so if I want, like, the equation on the line, so you go to more options. And the more options, if you're asked the linear, so it will be linear. If you are asked the logarithmic, so it will be different. Since we have already selected the art option, so it is giving me the specific option over here. So let's suppose, let me delete the previous one. Okay, or if I keep the previous one and compare with that one, so it could be also helpful. So so here I go to this for more options. When I go to the more option, you can see over here, not this one, this is formatting one. So let me just, like, redo it for you. Okay, yeah, this one is the more option format, right? So here, if you want to display the set intercept, so it will be showing the set intercept. Display the equation, so now it is showing the equation. If they say r square value, it is showing the r square value, right? So now you have this one, and then you can save it, right? So question two is complete now. Okay, now you need to move to the question number three. So in the question number three, for example, if you are asked to have the same data or different data, you might be asked to draw some, like, charts. So in the recommended chart, you have all the charts, right? So for example, if I want pie chart, so pie chart is not possible. So definitely I would not, like, ask for the pie chart, because in the pie chart you have, like, specific proportion. So then let's suppose I want the line chart, so line chart would be there. Then I need some formatting for it, like for example, this is, like, food data, so you need to format this one. Okay, if I have some more options here, for example, on x-axis, if I need some more data, so here you can also like, format it. For example, this data is related to for example, calories. Okay, so you can format this one. Okay, and if I need, you need to format this one as like a let's suppose if it is about protein. Okay, so protein you can write over here. So this option will be available if you just select this one, and then you have a data labels. If you want data labels, if I ask you, then you can, like, check this data label as well, but it will be more cumbersome, so definitely I will not ask that one. And then we have a data tables, error bar. So there are a lot of options it could be asked in the exam, right? So since this is a dummy exam, so I'm not going to give you the exact thing, but what we have it, but you can go for it, right? Sometime you can ask for the pivot table. So yeah, for the pivot table, usually it will be drawn into the second one, into the next table. For example, here, for example, if I want the pivot table, okay, so I need to select this one, and then I need to go it into it. So for example, if I want the pivot charts and pivot table together, so that would, like, lead me to the next chart over there, and the next reports like this one, if you see over here. Yeah, so for the pivot chart, what is the most important thing? Let's suppose if I delete this one, and I give this question as, let's suppose question number three is related to the pivot chart. So this kind of pivot chart would be made over here, but for that one you need to select, and then you need to insert from the pivot table, right? So from the pivot table it will be selected over there to the next table. So since you need to check why this is giving you error, okay, so for this one, you need to, for example, if it is giving you error, so you need to give this range and then see how this table is made over there. So here you need to select one. So if you select it, so the pivot data would be selected. So now we try again and see that how this, like, what if we make these two tables as a pivot table, so how it would be looking. Okay. Yeah, so command require at least two rows of the source, right? So you need to do it, like, one by one. So by this way, it could be done as well. Right, so now you have, like, a pivot protein. So this is the data, and then from this one you can easily insert some recommended charts over here. So the recommended chart is, let's suppose this one is a recommended chart, right? So the next question would be, like, here I have drawn these two calories and protein together. In question number four, let's suppose I need some special kind of charts, like let's suppose radar chart. So I have this one and the different options available. So you can have data labels if you want it, and you can, like, remove the data label as well, right? So you have both option. If you want the legend, so legend is also available over here. And then we have, like, another special kind of chart I might ask in the exam to draw that one. So but you need to do formatting as well. So this will not be acceptable if you just draw a chart and without modifying the table, right? So the table title must be correctly done over here. Okay, just like I make for you. For example, this is, let's suppose, tree chart. Okay, so this must be properly done, right? So proper heading, this should be done, otherwise there will be a deduction in the marks over here. And then I have, like, another kind of chart. For example, this is another chart, density chart. I have it. So let's suppose if this is like a density chart, so I have, like, it this one chart is available here. So okay, and then I have, let's suppose I give you different kind of data. This is about, not about the health data, this is about some, like, product sales data, and I need a specific kind of chart, right? So you can also make a specific kind of chart for it. in question number 9, also, like, because 5 charts would be given different kind of charts and you have to give it, but be careful to like, give a proper, like, chart name. So chart name, proper chart name is important over here. Okay, and then in question number 9, the question number 9, I might give there some missing values. Let's suppose the red color is a missing value. So how to compute this one? You can have, like, for example, average formula. If you make an average formula on that one, so I take average of the above value and the below value, and that becomes the average of the, so the new value is computed, right? So the average of this one, so you need to have this one, uh, yeah, this value, comma, okay, and this value, right? So now you see over here the average of these two, so b10 and b12 are there. So similarly, you can have, like, you can compute the values over here, average, okay, and then above value, so it is like a b17, sorry, b18, b8, and this one, okay, and b comma b21, okay, right? So the new value is there. Now you can draw some chart as per, so here sometime you will be given a choice to draw a chart, so you can have your choice, or you can use the recommended chart as well, as per your liking. Okay, so the last but not the least is a like short note. So in the short note, you have to you can, like, you can have this text box. So in the text box you can have insert it, right? And after insertion of this one, when you insert it, so then you can write, for example, you need to write short notes. You can say that Benford law is focused on the numbers. For example, uh, number one has more probability than 9, okay, then 9 number, right? So, and then give example, like examples, you can give some example, like it is used in fraud, in accounting, fraud detection, okay, etc., etc., right? So you can have, like, you can have some paragraphs on that one. You can use, like, you can use different resources from the online resources, because it's open book exam, so you can use different resources. I will see the quality of your answer, and based on that you will be given marks. So thank you very much, and best of luck for your midterm exam.